bar's got that swing. Glasses clink, hear the ice cubes sing. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worries slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. There's Troy laughing with his gin and a grin, telling stories about where he's been. Boomer's got whiskey, he's loosening his tie, chasing dreams under a midday sky. The bartender knows us, he's mixing with flair. Every sip's a moment we're happy to share. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worries slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. The clock don't matter, we're lost in the vibe. Jazz in the air, feel the soul come alive. From martinis to bourbon, we're riding the wave. Stealing this hour, it's the freedom we crave. Sun's still shining, but we're in our zone. This bar's our shelter, our temporary home. One more round before the world calls us back. Savor the moment, keep the blues in the rack. We'll laugh and we'll toast till the afternoon fades. Memories made in these liquid escapades. Liquid lunch, pour it smooth, let it flow. Friends round the table where the good times grow. Raise a glass, let the worries slip away. Liquid lunch, we're living for today. So here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun. Our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon. Chasing that jazz under the high noon.
Va salute and happy Friday. It is now the weekend. We consider midday on Friday to be the weekend because, let's face it, you're just watching the clock the rest of the day on a Friday. So you may have probably already guessed, based on the glass that I'm holding, what I'll be sipping on.
Release the Kraken.
Release the Kraken! The Kraken!
Why is the rum always gone?
Yes, why indeed is the rum always gone? Well, because I enjoy it so much. That is why. So anyway, that is the show for today. No, I'm kidding. I kid. I want to say hi to all of you that have managed to make it through the week with me and are here now, starting with the lovely Lynn Green, who says, I may miss the opening getting ready to run an errand. I totally understand. You know how Liquid Lunch goes. You drop in when you can. You can always catch up later on. I claim this chat for the Federation. As a person of the green persuasion, I'm surprised you don't claim it in the name of the Orion Syndicate or some other neutral organization. Merry Friday, Liquid Lunchers. What is it this week's mystery drink? Sazerac? Manhattan? Nope. Just simple old Kraken. Who knows but him? Have a great stream, Troy. Yes, thank you so much. Mech Paul, I will not sacrifice the home world. Too many compromises have been made already. The cultural vandals invade our space, and we fall back. They assimilate entire genres, and we fall back. The line must be drawn here, this far, and no farther. Exactly. Yeah, I've been hearing that the Klingons are being done very, very dirty in this abomination, this parody of Star Trek they're calling Starfleet Academy. I just saw Captain Kirk, Dr. Smith, and Star-Lord singing of their love for a green woman. This is why AI exists. And I saw it because I have the best of friends, to which I said, be a friend to me, Lynn Green. You've got to share it with me. And that is why I got started about a minute or two late, because I had to watch that video. And it was good. And I had forgotten that that Dr. Smith had a somewhat romantic adjacent encounter with a green woman in his travels. Also liked, how AI works. It tends to be hit and miss. Sometimes it's spot on, and sometimes it gets things all goofy. Well, it had this confusion between Robbie the robot and the robot from Lost in Space. And it's actually kind of fun to watch those two bicker over on Movies, Music, and Monsters. But what I thought was very interesting was one of the instances of that video. The robot's claws were replaced with more hand-like appendages from Robbie the robot and Robbie the robot's legs. And I was like, there are ways that the robot could be upgraded if they so chose. Might have to reach out to Dan Monroe and make that suggestion to him. The only reason I'm thinking about that is because I've been playing Fallout 4, where they have the automaton download. I have it installed. Haven't quite figured out how to do any crafting yet, but I'm very excited about that. One of the early plot points in Fallout 4 is you get out of the vault after being in cryo freeze. You go back to your home, which is basically gutted, but your robot servant is still tending to things. And I'm like, I would like to upgrade him. I would like to repair him. I just think it's awesome that he is still going. And yes, I got that. Thank you so much, Lynn. I'm not even a huge bluegrass fan, but this was beautiful. Yeah, there was a lot of great Easter eggs in those pictures, too, in the background images. The first time the Klingons encountered green women at a Trek convention, I posed for this Klingon, meaning Mark, encountered green women at a Star Trek convention. I posed for a photo with them, and Amira, the lady of my Klingon house, came up and roared, "No pets!" Yeah, fair enough. Speaking of pets, I am the love of her life, and that is why she is the love of mine. Saying like, share, subscribe, comment, do all the clicky things, become a member, gift a membership. Thank you so much for all of the support, everyone. Shh. Don't tell my roommates I discovered I had $200 from one of them from last month. I'd forgotten. My errand was putting it in the bank, but I kept 20. I won't tell your roommates about your leering center there, Lynn Green. And welcome to Penny J, who's in my ears and in my eyes. Welcome, Penny. Good to see you. Went to Arby's for a French dip. Oh, they still make those? Crinkle fries. Are those the curly fries? I like those. Those are a little spicy. I like those. And a chocolate shake. Yeah, chocolate shake's always good. Bartender, give me today's special, a large glass of freshly squeezed lemonade. Yes, I saw that he's actually been arrested. I still don't think anything's going to stick. I don't think anything's going to stick. This is optics. This is political theater. This isn't actual justice. It really isn't. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and become a member. And if you were going to give a super chat of $5 or more, why not gift a membership instead to make our family grow? Fedora Mumbler. Yes, absolutely. I would greatly appreciate that. Happy Friday from Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Welcome, my friend. I really do think he's going to purposely be dropping the soap, I suspect. Hail all, smash the like button and enjoy the show, says Jonathan Conroy. Thank you so much. And a round of lemonade for everyone. Yes. Friday. Happy Friday. Yes, Friday is the day that we, after the stream, we will all hop into the limo and cruise on over to Wilkie's Movies and Music for his cinema update, his weekend update. Let's see here. You guys all saying hi to each other, which is always good. Waiting for a parking spot at Walmart. Okay, I'm guessing they must be a little bit busy. Jaden has 2 fathers who abandon him. That is funny. That is so funny in the DEI. Hey, he's got 2 dads. We're all progressive because his dads are gay, but they're both men, so they both abandon him because patriarchy. Oh my God, these people are stupid. It's like on the one hand, you get representation. On the other hand, we hate you because you're men. Wow. And that's why he's a weak, cowardly petach. Wasn't there a charity that we had set up for children like that to turn them into warriors? Oh yeah, the person running that turned out to be a complete petach himself. I forgot. How are any of these idiots on Starfleet Academy the best they are claimed to be? Yeah, exactly. The best don't swallow comm badges. The best don't stick things in their mouths that don't belong in their mouths. You know, I mean, I swear, as soon as I heard that line, I'm like, okay, this is what's the name of that kid from Ralphie? Is it Ralphie from The Simpsons? I'm in danger. You know? I'm helping. Yeah, exactly. I had to close the door so they wouldn't hear you. Oh, I didn't know I was like coming over the speakers. I apologize. I did not realize that. Use earphones, you know, because sometimes you don't want the kiddies hearing what you have to say. Let's see here. This one recalls that the last thought admiral had an Orion consort. Tumor has it. A rumor has it she will put hair on a man's head. I'll be honest with you. Anything that might help me out in that regard, I'd be interested in hearing about. A thought admiral. Yeah, I've got some real problems with the whole EU whole of Klingon language, but that's a story for another time. I need to acknowledge Wilkie's Movies and Music. Corey, in his immense generosity, gifted five memberships. I super appreciate that. That went to Eject a Curtain, Outlaw Bill, Pops on Pop Culture, Jeff Morris 508, and Fletcher Williams. Most of you all I am welcoming back to membership. Thank you so much. That goes a long way towards getting us back to that 100 members so that we can again relaunch the goal of trying to reach 200 members by the end of the year. Let's see. Oh man. And then I get another one from Geek Flag with Nate Knows, which went to PJ of Orville Nation, hashtag Together We Grow. Thank you, my friends. You really are helping me get to those goals. They used to have STD. Now they have SAID. Yeah, exactly. Her name is Rogaine. There you go. Not safe for work. Always have the headphones on. Yes. It's funny because sometimes I'll be playing video games, and if you hear the sound effects out of context, you realize this sounds like something that it's really, really not. People taking damage, people in combat, and it could sound like they were having fun. So maybe if you're playing video games, put your earphones in. The only consort this Klingon is allowed to have are the four-legged furry kinds. Yeah, let's move on. We used to have the original series. Now Kurtzman just makes POS. There you go. Okay. Let's get to the main topic, because we gotta get things taken care of before we wrap up and get you over to Wilkie's Movies and Music today. Let me get to the shared screen where I will, share my screen. Of all the alcohol history, this one, for once, instead of coming from a specialized alcohol based channel, this one comes to us from the History Channel. When did humans start drinking alcohol? Evidence suggests that people were drinking beer as far back as 13,000 years ago. That's before I was born. While distilled liquors arrived much later. Yeah, distilled liquors require a bit more effort to distill. Let's go a little bit bigger so that I can see what I'm reading here. Getting together with others to socialize and knock back a beer or sip on a glass of wine is hardly a modern activity. In fact, humans have been making and drinking alcoholic beverages since ancient times. People consumed alcohol for a variety of reasons throughout history, as part of religious rituals, for social bonding, for medicinal purposes. A certain country doctor told us about that particular method, and simply to enjoy themselves. Below are some of the earliest known examples of humans making and consuming beer, sake, wine, and liquor. 11,000 BC, that's during the Younger Dryas. All kinds of things may have happened during that time. And everybody, I uploaded a series of shorts to my channel. Jumped on me there. To tell a narrative story. If you would have the time, please check them out and leave a comment. Constructive criticism is welcome. Yes, very interesting Star Trek adjacent storyline he's doing over there. The last ice age would be called to drink. Yes. During that era, you had ice for your drink, right? That's always good. And he even drops you the link so you can go check out his channel. So go please do that. Hashtag Together We Grow. So beer, Israel, 11,000 BC. The earliest evidence of man-made alcohol in the world was discovered at the burial site of Rakefet Cave near present-day Haifa, Israel, where Natufians a group of hunter-gatherers in the eastern Mediterranean were laid to rest. Researchers from Stanford University analyzed residue from 13,000-year-old stone mortars found in the cave and recognized evidence of beer brewing. In an article published, oh, wait a minute, I lost my chat. Give me a second there. I don't want to miss anything. Actually, Troy pivoted off the Star Trek adjacent storyline, the Deep Future, and Donna Moore, Space Marshal. I haven't totally abandoned the Deep Future. I just run into some technical snags. I understand. Beer, you can't own it. You can only rent it. Yes, that's absolutely true. Thanks. That was Norm on Cheers, I believe, right? In an article published in the Journal of Archaeological Science Reports in 2018, the author hypothesizes that the Natufians made beer for ritual feasts to venerate deceased members of their community. And here they are, 13,000 years ago. No, I can't. This discovery indicates that making alcohol was not necessarily a result of agricultural surplus production, but it was developed for ritual purposes and spiritual needs, at least to some extent, prior to agriculture. Li Liu, a professor of Chinese archaeology at Stanford, said in a statement. But according to Stephen D. Batuke, senior research associate and lecturer in the Department of Near and Middle East Civilizations and the Archaeology Center at the University of Toronto, the Natufians' a version of beer is nothing like what we drink today. It's more like gruel or porridge than a refreshing beverage. Well, I'll bet it also did not have hops or any other kind of sweetening agents. Well, it might have done. Egyptians treated beer like a liquid bread, so a porridge isn't that bizarre. I agree. And if you think about where Vegemite comes from, you understand the connection. After conducting chemical analysis of residue found on early pottery in Jiahu, a Neolithic village in China's Yellow River Valley, a team of researchers led by molecular archaeologist Patrick McGovern of the University of Pennsylvania revealed that a mixed fermented beverage of rice, honey, and fruit, hawthorn fruit and or grape, was being produced as early as 7,000 BC. As the team writes in the 2004 article published in the Proceedings of the Natural Academy of Science, their findings provide direct evidence of fermented beverages in ancient Chinese culture, which were of considerable social, religious, and medical significance. Keep in mind when you are reading these kinds of studies that say as early as 7,000 BC, as early as 11,000 BC, that means this is just the first evidence that we have, that we've seen, that, and we can date it back that far. So there is a presumption that they actually had it before that, but we have no way of knowing how long. This is the earliest that we have evidence of, with just the logical assumption that for some time before that it existed. Could have been thousands of years before that they were brewing alcohol. We just don't know. Kind of like when someone says there may have been civilizations at some time prior to the ones that we have found. Oh no, that's alien talk. That's crazy Atlantis talk. No, it's not. It's just the way you think logically about what we know, right? You know, if you have evidence of a society that dates back to a certain amount of time, they didn't just spontaneously appear out of nowhere. You know, they progressed from ancestors. So that assumes there must have been some society before them that we have no record of. It's a certainty. What that society looked like, whether it was greater or lesser, whether it was evolving or devolving, we don't know. All we know is that human society goes back further than we can date it, just like alcohol does. Although I would argue that, do you really have a society if you don't have alcohol? Just saying. Just saying. Religious and medical significance. So, what exactly was this early form of alcohol? Because it contains honey, some have likened it to mead, while others see it more as a type of sake because it's also made from rice. According to Batiuk, the beverage was made predominantly from hawthorn berries, one of the few berries that naturally grows yeast that ferments. But he added, it shouldn't be considered wine in the strictest sense. It's got to be something of its own, right? They say, claiming there may be advanced cultures to make Göbekli Tepe and those other prehistoric megaliths is white supremacy. I'm sorry, but you go back far enough, you can't make those racial distinctions anymore. And if you do, you're just being an idiot. You're projecting modernisms back on the past. That's just freaking ridiculous. Sorry I'm late. Just got home from running errands. Well, welcome back, CK. Good to see you. Maybe it was a mixed drink, a little wine, a little mead, a little sake. If you have a fermented grain and grape, is it wine or is it beer? It's something else. It's some other fermented drink. You know, it's sometimes you gotta come up with a whole new classification for something. And yes, please like, subscribe, and comment. Those are always wonderful things to do to encourage me. Apparently, they think only white people could have done those things. The rest of us just think it was humans. Exactly. It's white supremacy to keep complaining about white supremacy. It's best to consider this more of a grog, a witch's brew, if you wish. He says, noting that it probably had quite a high alcohol content. It isn't similar to anything we drink today. The beverage was used in a funerary context, Batiuk explains, probably in the funerary rites, allowing those alive to commune with the spirits through their altered state. In other words, get drunk. You can say goodbye to your loved ones, which kind of is like an Irish wake, right? So I think that makes perfect sense in my opinion. Let's see here. So now we're going to talk about wine, apparently. So residue on large earthenware containers dating back to 5,980 BC. That seems pretty specific. Excavated in 2 archaeological sites near Tbilisi, Georgia, is the earliest evidence of traditional wine made from grapes, Batiuk says. The research team led by McGovern published their findings in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences in 2017. Evidence of the wine was found in domestic contexts at multiple sites associated with various social classes, suggesting that it was fairly widespread in the society, a common beverage. Batiuk explains, adding that it was made by everyday farmers. So right there is an illustration of what I'm talking about. You date it back to 5,980, but tell us it was extremely widespread and it was being made by everyday farmers, which means it was absolutely around for a long time before that. Somebody had to invent it, then share it with their friends, and they told two friends, and they told two friends, and so on and so on and so on. And it takes a while for that to happen before you get to 5,980 BC, right? So, but I understand they're also saying this is all that we can confirm as far as a rough date. Probably before that, though, right? So, a total of 8 large pottery jars, likely used for fermentation, aging, and storage of the wine, were found with the residue. Some were decorated with pictures of grapes and men dancing, the BBC reports. The residue contains tantric acid, which only occurs in significant amounts in the Eurasian grape. I'm not even going to attempt the Latin on that. In the Middle East, as well as the wine that's made from it. It also contains malic, citric, and succinic acid, which are formed in the same type of grape. Some of the earliest known poetry from the Andes regions of South America dates back to around 5,000 BC and was likely used to carry and store chica, or is it chicha? A beverage primarily made from fermented corn, along with manioc, wild fruits, cacti, and potatoes. A little bit of vodka in there. Corn was considered a sacred crop to the Incas and other civilizations of the period, and chica was used as a type of currency. Wow. In late prehistory, huge local and state farms, the majority on steep terraced hill slopes and irrigated plains of the deserts and valleys were dedicated to the production of corn, McGovern writes. The farming itself, he explained, was largely powered by chica, with locals working the land in exchange for the beverage. Additionally, chicas were consumed in large quantities during and after the farming work, making the festive mood of singing, dancing, and joking, he notes. Whistle while you work, I suppose. Let me see, what are you guys saying here? I don't want to miss nothing. Apparently, I think yeah, exactly. The Black Velvet, the classy choice. This is the most famous beer and wine hybrid. It's a beer cocktail made by layering stout, usually Guinness, with champagne or sparkling wine. Interesting. While naturally fermented alcohols like beer and wine have been around since ancient time, distilled liquors have only been around for a few hundred years that we know of. I'm going to point out that especially if you are fermenting drinks in the Younger Dryas, right, during the Ice Age, there is a method by which you can distill alcohol, but we might not have any evidence for it. You take that beer, that wine, that whatever you have, and you stick it in the snow and let it freeze. The part that doesn't freeze is going to be alcohol. So that would be a distillation of alcohol, and a potent one at that. But when you don't have easy access to some method of freezing, well, we get into the chemistry of the thing, right? Distillation is really a recent development, at least in the context of our relationship to alcohol, said Edwards Slingerland, a philosophy professor at the University of British Columbia and the author of Drunk: How We Sipped, Danced, and Stumbled Our Way to Civilization. That is a title, my friends. That is a book I would very much like to read. We've known about distillation forever. Aristotle described it, and the principles of it have been well understood for a long time. But doing it on any kind of scale is really technologically difficult because you have to be able to keep the liquid at a very constant temperature. Very, very true. Want to say hi to Charlotte Nightstar, the werewolf, who will be having a sit down with Netter on Thursday. I haven't done a promo yet for that. We'll get that up once I start the Monday rotation. But or maybe tonight for last call. But she'll be getting together with Netter to tell her about the book she has written and how maybe you can get a hold of it to read it. Constant temperature. That's right. While I may have gone a little too high on that one. While there were small-scale attempts at the distillation of alcohol in Chinese, Indian, Greek, and Egyptian societies, it wasn't until Arab improvements in technology in the late medieval period that spirits were more widely consumed. Very interesting that the Arabs are responsible for the distillation of alcohol, which of course now the Muslims consider to be absolutely sinful. The invention of the printing press and movable type also played a large role in the spread of distillation. Prior to that, recipes and instructions were primarily confined to monasteries, medical schools, and apothecaries. Once again, people who aren't allowed to partake making an alcohol product. Yeah, exactly right. Well, I'm not sure that the Arabs from a certain point in history predate the Muslim religion, so they were probably just fine on alcohol. I'm in fact almost certain of it. Published in Germany in 1500, The Virtuous Art of Distillation. It is a virtuous art. It is. By Hieronymus Brunschwig. It's a pretty good name. Is considered the first major book about the process and focuses on medicinal distillation. By the 1600s, the average person in Europe had access to distilled liquor like gin or rum, gin and rum, and it was a real game changer. It makes alcohol much more dangerous. That's an excellent point. That is an excellent point. Alcoholic beverages created through natural fermentation, like beer and wine, can only get a certain alcohol by volume, he explains. Distillation, on the other hand, doesn't have that safety feature, and it's possible to make liquor far more intoxicating with, say, a 90% alcohol by volume. Nate says he's got to get back to work. See you tonight. Take care, my friend. I do hope you are feeling better. I hope you are continuing to stay off of that knee, and by all means, you don't have to drop $2 on me just to say goodbye, but it is, of course, very much appreciated. Let's see. Distillation also made spirits a commodity. Distilled liquors lasts for a really long time and can be transported. And so you get people turning their grain surplus into distilled liquors, and now they can trade it across long distances. Absolutely true. And that is about, that does get us pretty much up into the modern era. So how cool is that? And that's this was a topic that I actually wanted to talk about for quite some time. Just a general discussion of the history of alcohol. I have noticed that when people aren't 100% certain about some archaeological find that they've discovered, it's always about some ritual purpose. It's a ritual purpose. It's a ritual thing. That just means we have no clue. The reality is, I think if anyone, thinks about it logically, realizes the most likely reason that they made alcohol was because they got drunk on it. It's like, oh, that's fun. I want to do that again. Oh yeah. No. It's for religious reasons. Bottoms up. Amen. So there you go. Let's see. And I haven't had a good history fix in a while, and you still haven't, have you? Just playing. Yeah, I do hope you like that little history lesson. And in about 15 minutes, I hope you're going to very much like the cinematic lesson that we will get from Corey over at I almost said Movies, Music, and Monsters. I still have that in my head. Over at Wilkie's Movies and Music. Also, tonight on Last Call, we are trying. Speaking of history, you want another good history fix? Lynn Green, join us tonight for Last Call, where the topic is going to be this day in history. Today is the 30th of January. We're going to look back at interesting things that happened on this day in history. I'm just looking out the window and I'm seeing that we're getting snow. Alexa, is it snowing right now?
Yes, it's snowing right now in Streamwood. There's a winter weather advisory in effect until 6 p.m. today, with 1 to 3 inches of accumulation expected in just a few hours. Roads will likely become slick and hazardous, so be careful if you're heading out.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Stay safe out there in the snow.
There we go. Nate, I'm not sure if this is my platform or if this is you, but I am showing now 3 $2 chats saying that you want to get back to work. Double check and make sure you're not, continuing to pay repeatedly. And if you need a refund, I'll find a way to work that out for you. But something's going wrong there. Something's wrong. Either it's in your payments or in the platform here, repeating things. Snow, another 4-letter word. Yeah, exactly right. The Britisher used to get together with some other British YouTubers on Thursday afternoons, our time, for This Week in History. Unfortunately, he took them all down. Yeah. Sometimes after you've had live streams up for a period of time, I've noticed that a lot of people have said it kind of hurts the algorithm to leave them up. So it's better to just make them private or make them members only accessible. So it's not just here in the platform; it's also on YouTube. Netter says so. Yeah, I paid 3 times because it wasn't showing up on my end, and then finally it started showing up. But it's no worries. At least it's going to a good. Oh, thank you so much. That is That is very, very generous of you. So that is $6 in super chats for Geek Flag with Nate Notes to say goodbye until this evening. Almost had a similar situation. I had some stuff in my cart, in my online cart, went to pay, and I was like, that looks like a lot. And then I realized I had 2 of everything, and I did not want 2 of everything. So just last night, I placed an order for the body, clothing, and a couple of accessories for my Jeremy Brett custom Sherlock Holmes figure. Still can't do anything about painting the head until it gets a little bit warmer, but once it does, I will have that finished quite quickly, I think. Is Lisa okay with that? That was a typo. He meant at least it's. That's the problem with voice to text. Oh, speaking of voice to text, or talking to computers, before we started the stream, I asked Grok to find that video that Lynn had described, and it was literally searching for it throughout the entire until about the 3/4 mark of the show. I had to close down the thing because I heard it heard it in my ear saying still searching, and I'm like, Lynn already sent it to me. Shut up, you're useless, go away. I'm seeing a one-legged 3PO. It's not one-legged. It is not. I put into my custom packages that little, this one's probably a little bit larger than it needed to be, but that keeps him standing straight and forward the way Kenner used to do back in the day. Yeah, he's kind of... he's kind of racking himself there. That's unintentional. I should probably shorten that a little bit, but yeah, that's how I display them, is in the old-fashioned way with those little pieces of colored cardboard in there to keep them straight. He's not one-legged. However, this particular figure, which is the droids variant, the animated version, is made with removable limbs and the removable face plate from, I forget which figure it was that did that, and why they did that, but there you go. Yeah, it's just not visible at this angle. Yeah, and of course the color blends in with the background behind it. So yes, absolutely. And then if this was a commercially produced figure in the modern day, they would consider this to be a deluxe figure because of all of the accessories that I have in there. I have all of the items and the pot that Gourmanda uses in that scene. But something I truly, truly enjoy doing. I have made some progress on my next Cantina video, which is Power of the Force 2 Cantina video. I'm not sure I'll have it done by the end of the week, but within about a week or so, I should have that finished. And I've begun setting up a diorama upstairs that I need to get some footage on, some A-roll, basically. It's going to be a short one, just kind of showing it to you and making a little commentary on how I repurpose some of the modern Hasbro toys to tell EU and classic Star Wars stories. I did enjoy the Thank the Maker edit. Thanks again, Troy. Did you also see some? There was a lot of so there is the Thank the Maker edit on that DVD. There is the standalone Huio version, which is the upscaled best version of the original unedited release of the holiday special. There is another edit on there that just edits it down a bit. It doesn't add things to it. Still not great, but it's a little bit more watchable. And then there's a couple of parodies in there that you might find entertaining. And I make this available every year around the holidays for Life Day. Those that choose to join me for my watch party of the Star Wars Holiday Special every year, members anyway, I am sending out copies of the Holiday Special on DVD if you are so interested. I have the other stuff, but I only had time to watch the one. That's fair. That's absolutely fair. You can, whenever you feel like you absolutely need to, torture yourself, in a masochistic way, just pull it out and, go ahead and watch that. That's what that's for. Anyway, we're coming to the end of our time, and I don't want to run over because I do want to get you over to Wilkie's Movies and Music before we kick off the weekend. Don't forget that oh no, there is no Films with Friends today because tomorrow Films with Friends is hosted by Big Al, and we'll be watching Guillermo del Toro's Hellboy. So let's get over to Corey's, and then after that, finish up your day, and I hope to see you tonight on Last Call, where I will be polishing off the Kraken. And I hope all of you guys take care of yourselves. If you're not healthy, get healthy. If you are healthy, stay healthy. Stay hydrated. Get hydrated if you're not hydrated. If you're struggling with headaches or dry skin or a lot of other maladies, you will find that being hydrated helps a great deal. Helps with digestion. It helps move things along. It helps regulate your body temperature. It does assist your immune system because it helps the blood flow smoothly. And drink responsibly. And until next time, I'll see you on the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Hope to see you again real soon.
here's to the daylight, the drinks and the fun, our liquid lunch, till the next one comes. With a wink and a smile, we'll be back real soon, chasing that jazz under the high noon.